woman named Clara. Clara moved into her grandmother's ancestral home after her passing. The house was filled with antique furniture and relics from another time. But what caught her attention the most was a large, ornate mirror in the bedroom upstairs. The mirror had a dark wooden frame carved with strange floral patterns. It looked ancient, but still gleamed like it was waiting for someone to look into it. Her grandmother used to say, "Never stare at the mirror too long after midnight." Clara always thought it was just superstition, until one stormy night, she was preparing for bed when the power suddenly went out. The only light came from the faint flicker of candles, and in that dim glow, she saw her reflection in the old mirror. At first, it looked normal, but then her reflection blinked twice. Even though she hadn't, Clara froze. She leaned closer, thinking it was just her imagination. Her reflection smiled, a slow, eerie smile. While she stood still, panicking, she turned away. But out of the corner of her eye, she saw the reflection still facing her, head tilted, smiling wider. She covered the mirror with a blanket that night and tried to sleep. But around 3 a.m, a faint tapping sound woke her up. Tock, tock, tock. It came from behind the blanket. Terrified, she pulled the blanket off and saw herself again in the glass. But this time, her reflection wasn't inside the room. It was standing behind her. Clara screamed and ran to the door, but it wouldn't budge. She turned back, and the reflection was gone. Only the mirror remained, cold and still, with a faint handprint pressed on the inside of the glass. The next morning, she told a neighbour about what happened. The old woman gasped and whispered, "That mirror was never meant to be moved. It belonged to your grandmother's sister, the one who disappeared in that very room." Clara didn't wait another night. She called for help, and the mirror was taken to the church, sealed and locked away in the storage room, never to be displayed again. But locals in Lipa still talk about it. They say if you visit that old church past midnight, and the moonlight hits the window just right, you might still see a reflection, one that isn't yours, smiling